Welcome to the Schmoopydady streaming experience. I am your host, as per usual, Schmoopydady, a monthly Hearthstone Wild Legend player who typically hits Legend first a month, and after that I goof off. When I goof off, I play your decks. This is going to be my quick and dirty, snarky set review that is focused on the Wild format. I don't like doing card reviews, but chat begs me to do them, so screw it, here I am. Let's talk about Death Knight first in this set. I will say this about this set in general compared to the previous set. I think there are more interesting cards this set, even if we ultimately don't get more playable decks. I at least think there are even some of the fringe cards, even some of the bad cards, make you think a second before you discount them or get rid of them or completely lose their utility. So I'll give them credit for that this set. I just, last set I think was such a disappointment and kind of a downer and a little deflating. The Wild format was not in such a good spot right now. I feel like we would be in a much, much darker place where the meta didn't change all that much. Mostly all you did was introduce imbue mages, which Reddit loves. That's like its favorite new deck from last expansion. And we might have another fun one. All right, let's get to cards. Reanimate Terror. Spend 18 corpses. Get Tyrax, the Bone Terror. And then we start clicking and viewing and checking out. Oh, that's the art. That's fun. Bone Terror. It's an 8/8 Death Rattle. Open Terror's Gate. Terror's Gate. I think people are ignoring the fact that this deals 4 damage. I think this is okay, and then Death Rattles, it resummers this thing. There are times where you're just going to want the location, and that's okay. And if the location blows up for whatever reason, hey, you're going to get Tyrax early. I think that's kind of okay, but spending 18 corpses is going to take for fucking ever. It's probably not going to be good enough in Wild. Summon 2 Death Rattle minions from your deck. They fight. This is going to be some sort of shitty combo card. Reanimate Paradax. Rush, Lifesteal, cost corpses instead of mana. I think this card could be pretty good. We can get it. We could be getting this sucker down on 3 pretty quickly with stuff like mining casualties. If there is going to be a decent aggro Death Knight deck that isn't even, I think Reanimated Paradact. I want to say Pterodactyl so bad. Paradax is going to be an example of something that could be good in it. Wave of Tar looks fine. 2 is kind of a brutal AoE. It doesn't do a ton except for maybe pirate decks. But the fact that it makes your enemy's minions cost 2 more per turn makes it a lot more interesting. Cryo Sleep. Deal 4 damage. Draw a card. Kindred. Draw another. Dread Raptor, Battle Cry, draw Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less, Kindred it costs 0. Could be a decent combo enabler, but combo and DK kind of sucks. Discover an Undead, spend 5 corpses. Spend 5 corpses to keep all 3 instead. Great arena card. Bone Chill Stegodon. Death Rattle deals 6 damage to 3 random enemy minions. And it's a funny 6/3. I think it's too expensive, but the payoff doesn't totally suck. We would need something in DK to reduce beasts or undeads in some way, and I don't think we're going to be doing that. So, for me. But if you randomly generate it, you're kind of happy about it. Reluctant Wrangler Reborn. Death Rattle summon a 2/2 undead beast with taunt. Little corpse pile. Not good enough for Wild, but funny card for Standard just to make the Pterodax maybe come down at the proper time. Crypt Map. Discover a Frost Rune card. If you play it this turn, also pick another one of the others. This one's actually pretty decent, I feel like. I feel like you can build around this, and this is a nice 1 mana functionally banking a draw for 2, especially if you keep the curve low and you plan around it. So I think it's a good card. All right. Unleash the Colossus. I was shocked at how in the theory craft 2 how this one was actually fairly playable. And the pop-off wasn't all that bad. It was a little asinine, though, that I was faced with these Sophie's choices of do I do the better tempo play or do I progress the quest? I don't know if the payoff of dealing 2 extra damage every time you deal 2 damage is worth. I think you can still have a discussion about whether or not that's a worthy payoff to be playable in Wild. But You know, like, this wasn't totally terrible. I wouldn't immediately ban somebody for sending me a deck with some of the cards in it. Toru was apparently completely fucking ass busted at the mana that it was initially shown to be. I think at 9 mana it's a non-starter in Wild in general. No minion type, really hard to reduce this. Like, not for me, dog. Wasp, probably going to be fine in Standard. I think it's going to be ass in Wild. Fumigate, deal 3 damage to a minion and all other minions of the same type. This seems kind of nasty, actually, and it's fell. You could shoot it at a pirate, and it's going to blow up all the other pirates for 2 mana. I don't hate that, actually. Some of these cards are the first time I'm seeing these. Bug Squasher, deals 6 damage to an enemy minion with the same deal 3 damage to an enemy minion with a minion type. Oh, okay. That's weird and conditional. Insect Claw. Insect Claw, I think, might be good enough to run on its own in some decks. After your hero attacks, summon a 2/1 grub with Rush. It's giving me very much like Carving Chisel vibes, or giving me what's the the hunter remote control weapon that was pretty good for a while, but like, the little 1/1 token wasn't influencing the board, or the spear that we got for hunter that would make a little 1/1 rusher. This is like a power creep version of that. This felt pretty good. It felt like one of the stronger cards, and it wouldn't shock me if you threw this in like a Reno pile. You'd be perfectly happy equipping it and playing it. You're going to get decent value from it. Infestation, get 2 1-cost Garashi Stingers. Each one deals 2 damage and summons a 2/1 grub with Rush. I actually liked this card a lot playing with it in the Theorycraft. It's probably like maybe a Reno or a value pile type card. If it's going to see any play in Wild, you have to pair it with the quest, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably not going to ultimately be good enough, but this felt like one of the better cards, especially for completing the quest that we played during the Theorycraft. Queen Rush. Kindred, give your hero +5 attack this turn. 5 mana. Fuck no. I'm not playing that many beasts. The Garashi Tunneler actually felt pretty decent, especially post-quest, but I think it's going to be way too slow for Wild. Hive Map. Discover a Fel spell. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. This felt surprisingly strong too, for similar reasons, but the Fel spell pool is so small and standard that this is going to feel like a god there, and then in Wild it might be okay for now. We'll see. Restore the Wild. Fill your board on 3 turns. Reward the Everbloom. And reminder what the Everbloom is. The Everbloom, when your hero attacks, give your minions +2/+2. This seemed bust when this was completed. When this was completed, and the hero was swinging, it looked kind of busted. But you have to get to that spot. And are you going to do that in Wild? We used to have Token Druid. We used to fill our board fairly recently. It wasn't aggro Druid. It was more of like a combo-y, turn 3, turn 4, we're making a wide board, and if you don't answer it, you fucking die type deck. Does that deck make a comeback with this quest? Maybe. People are going to try it at least. It's at least interesting enough that we have the discussion, even if ultimately it's too slow. Loa, Living Legend. Your minions cost 5 this game. The most interesting application I've seen for this, and otherwise I've been kind of whatever, it's not a great card. But one of the interesting applications I've seen with this is what it does to the Ceaseless Expanse. It makes the Ceaseless Expanse cost 0, because you've probably played 5 cards or drawn 5 cards, or at least reduce the Ceaseless Expanse by 5 by the time you're playing low. And not only that, you can have low active and then play Pendant, go get Ceaseless Expanse, get your 3 mana Reno, and then play the Ceaseless Expanse immediately every time because it's been reduced to 5. This might see some play. This might be decent in smoothing out some curves. Yeah, good minion. Death Rattle. Okay, Eternal Blood Petal. Death Rattle, summon a 0/1 Eternal Seedling. Cute, annoying, not very good in Wild. Just shitty rager forever. Life Cycle. Destroy minions. Summon a random minion of the same cost to replace it. I've seen some interesting applications for this. Probably not good enough in Wild, but I've seen some interesting applications. This is a good, this is an easy proc for something like Hadronox or something like that. Meme card. Decent, and it's nature. It's a good tag. Like, yeah, okay. Fine. Hybridization. Draw a 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost minion. Kindred, they cost 1 less. Yeah, this looks nasty. Imagine Overgrowth, or imagine Wild Growth into coin hybridization, and it's drawing Zephyrus, Bran, and ETC, or Zephyrus, Bran, and Floop. Like, yikes. Or Astalor. Like, this could be really good in Reno Druid. This is a card that we could absolutely build around. Hatchery Helper. Give your other minions or 2 or less attack, +1, +2, and taunt. If Token Druid is going to exist, it's going to be off the back of this nice young lady. Ravenous Flock. At the start of your next turn, summon 3, 1, 2, 1 hatchlings. Didn't seem that bad. It kind of reminds me of Sigil of Skydiving, except whereas those have charge, these are obviously going to just sort of sit there, right? But with Hatchery Helper, they become 3/3s with taunt. Not bad at all. Trees. Choose a minion, summon 4 treants to attack it. I kind of like this card. When it was first revealed, I was looking at it as like, oh, this is a really easy way to reduce your cultivation. I'm not going to poo-poo it. It does seem a little slow. At least it is nature. I'm not fully going to poo-poo it. It probably ultimately will be too slow, but I think it's really cool, and I'm not going to fully discount it because -4 on cultivation is nothing to sniff at. Side Screamer Eggs, summon 4, 1 for hatchling, completely unplayable. Draw a minion. If it has 5 or more attack, give it 5 health, and gain 5 armor. Fucking weird card, sure. I mean, cheap minion tutoring with upside. I don't know. If your deck can afford to play this, it's probably actually kind of okay. The Food Chain. Quest. Play a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast. Reward is Shock. Battle Cry. Get a randoms 8, 6, and 4 attack beasts. Set their cost to 2. Weird. Huh. This card looked good. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats. Whenever you play a 1-cost spell, cast it twice. Double trackings looks interesting. Could be like a Reno Pile type card. Supreme Dinomancy is so interesting to me. Give +2/+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield. How do I quantify this card? It's like a cheaper Hope of Kel'Thalas, and both charges happen at once, but you don't get a weapon. That sounds really good. It looks really slow, but it sounds really good. But you're also limited to building your deck only around beasts. It's at least interesting. All right. Ravensor Matriarch. Kindred. Deal damage to an enemy minion equal to this minion's attack, but it's only with Kindred, so it sucks. Parawing Ravager. Rush. Kindred costs 2 less. So we could cheat this out for 4. Still too expensive. Probably a beast. Probably nutty in Arena, though. Grazing Stegodon. At the end of your turn, gain plus attack, even when in hand or deck. Could be interesting to pair with Tundra Rhino. Don't sleep on this entirely, but like it does seem slow. There's a lot of other scaling cards that we use, that we have in the format already, that do not see play. This probably doesn't see play either, but it does have a big butt to stick around for a while. Story of Kanasis. Shuffle in 10 1-cost 3/2 Raptors with the battle cry. Draw a card. Could be fine. I could see this being playable in Wild, especially if you basically get your own draw engine off of it. Cower and Field. Fear. Deal 3 damage to a minion. The next beast you play this turn costs 2 less. Seems like a combo card, otherwise it's not very good. Dino Sitter. End of your turn. Reduced the cost of a random beast in your hand by 1. Seems like a combo card. Not a very good one. I wouldn't play it. Odd map. Discover an odd attack beast. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. Could be a good combo card. It's 1 mana to go and tutor a beast. And if your deck is built around whatever combo that uses an odd attack beast, something like, let's say, oh, you're discovering. Never mind. Nope, this is trash. Probably pretty good in Arena, though. All right. Forbidden Sequence. Forbidden Sequence gets us the Origin Stone. So Forbidden Sequence has to be... Whoop. Here, let me go down. Quest, discover 8 cards, reward the Origin Stone. I think the payoff is good enough when we're doing silly shit like ETC, Romath, Caligos, and you pick Potion of Illusion so that you always get a free, you have a free Potion of Illusion and you get a 1/1 Romath and a 1/1 Caligos every turn. That could be a funny thing. Or the OTK combos that I see. With the Origin Stone being the payoff. After you discover a card, this plays the other options. Crazy mana cheat and Mage discovers in Wild are not that terrible. We've got Glyph that gets you usually something good at a reduced cost. We have Jaina's Gift. We have... the one that was the one with Varden on 2 hands. It's 2 mana and the spell switch costs. That's usually pretty good. Like, we have some nutty discovers to proc this pretty quickly. Wouldn't shock me if it's legend viable playable. Is it going to really shake up the meta? No, probably not. Titanographicer Osk. Gains a random Titan ability in your hand that changes each turn. And they are, I believe, mostly... I think these abilities are tutored so that they actually make some goddamn sense. Seems like a meme card. I think it's a little bit too slow. But Schmoopy, it costs 1 with LPG. I will reach to the computer and fucking smack you, I swear to God. Conjured Bookkeeper, draw a spell. Kindred, summon a copy of this. Sure. Yeah, I can, in some sort of elemental mage, I could see this being okay. I don't know if it's good enough for Wild, but we can make it cost 1 pretty easily, so maybe. Unearth Artifacts. If you discover this turn, summon a random 4-cost minion instead. 2 mana for a 4-drop is okay. Yeah, I'm going to call it okay. We have Magic Trick. We could proc this on turn... With the coin, we could proc this on turn 2. It's not the worst. Not great either. Relic of Kings is really good for post-quest. I would not think it sees too much play in Wild. Storage Scuffle, deal 3 to a minion, cost 0 if you discovered this turn. This felt pretty good in theory crafting. Stir the Waygate, reduce the cost of cards in your hand that didn't start your deck by 1. This felt kind of busted. This is like 2 mana... This is 2 mana, and you get a permanent mana cheat. It seems pretty okay. Windswept Page Turner. After you summon Elemental, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Ooh, there's some little elemental payoff that I haven't seen yet. This costs 2 in Wild. If you have the right, set of circumstances come down. After you summon an Elemental, so this also pairs with Oasis Surger. So you could throw this sucker down and then throw a bunch of the little shitter elementals that all reduced each other's costs right in a row and deal a fuckload of damage. Yeah, I could see this being, like, okay in an elemental deck. However good an elemental deck's going to be. We have a good, budget one right now. I think it's a good card. Might be good card no home, though. We'll have to say. After you discover a card, reduce its cost by 1. Huh. First time seeing this card. 3 mana for a 2/4 is not that bad. It's a big enough butt, it's going to stick around. Our discovers are all cheap. And a lot of our discovers also discover cheap stuff. Reduce its cost by 1 means that it will reduce its cost to 0 sometimes. I think this could be okay. It might not be worth, but this is multiple discovers. So it might be okay. I don't know. Scrappy Scavenger, Battlecry, discover a card with cost equal to your remaining mana crystals. Much better in Standard than it will be in Wild. In Wild, post-quest, this is like a giant bomb. In Wild, I think the 10 drops, or the 9 drops, excuse me, are going to be way, way, way too fuckery to get a lot of success with this. But maybe I'm going to be wrong. But I know in Standard, this looks like a decent playoff. I don't know about Wild. Paladin cards. Dive the Gorlaka Depths. Repeatable quest. Summon 5 Murlocs. Reward. Your Murlocs get +1/+1. This is going to be one of the most interesting cards that you can play in the set in Wild. Do I think it's going to be Wild viable? I think it's going to be playable. I think you can probably play Murloc Paladin to Legend. You could probably do it now if you wanted to, but this definitely incentivizes you to. The fact that you're never paying mana for the reward is very attractive to me. The fact that it's repeatable is very attractive to me, but it's not buffing stuff that's already on board. It's stuff that you have to summon next. So keep that in mind as far as in your mind's eye what this looks like. I don't think we go back to Allura and tip the scales if we're doing this, but you could definitely do a build like this if you want to include Showdown Beam. So are we cutting Showdown Beam and then doing tip the scale stuff? Are we doing Showdown Beam and not doing tip the scale stuff, but maybe an Anyfin? I don't know. It's going to take some cooking, but it looks intriguing at least power level wise. Ido of the Thresh Fleet. While this is alive, you get a 2-cost holy spell that gives a minion +2/+2 and Divine Shield. Is it like a permanent thing? Okay. This stays in your hand while Ido is alive. Interesting. So it's there. There's no real mana cheat to make this go infinite, as far as I know, in Paladin. It's going to be really funny if somebody, discovers OG Sorcerer's Apprentice and makes it 0. It's probably fine in Standard. Will we run it in even Paladin? Somebody would for the culture. I don't know if it's going to be worth enough to be, or good enough to be like core, though. Thresher's Blessing. Give a friendly minion +4/+4 and summon... Death Rattle, summon a random 4-cost minion. Too slow for Wild. Fucking nasty in Arena. Holy shit. At the end of your turn, recast a random holy spell that you cast this turn. Targets if possible. Creature of the Sacred Cave. It's a great way to get more Libram of Divinities. Somebody's going to try it. It looks a little slow. The signature art is fucking beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. Could be okay once your Librams are 0. Could help on the pop-off turn with like, oh, I drew cards with Libram of whatever. Libram AI, and I draw cards, and I can repeat that, and I can get more minions in my hand for a pop-off on turn 5. I'm not going to totally poo-poo it. I don't think it totally sucks, but 4 is pretty steep. Tyranno felt strong in the theory crafting. Summon 3 2/1 Murlocs. Give them each a random bonus effect, and they can get stuff like Divine Shield, Elusive, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Reborn, Rush, Wind Fury, Taunt, that kind of crap. Too expensive for Wild, I think. We don't reduce Murlocs effectively. We don't mana cheat them effectively. Well, you could put this in Tip the Scales. I guess if you're doing Tip the Scales, this is pretty okay, especially if you got Lushwater Scout out. You pop this, and then all of the options have at least a Rush, and then it's one other keyword. It would have to be Tip the Scales. I don't see this scene play anywhere else. Violet Treasure Gill. Battlecry. Cast a random spell from your deck that costs 2 or less. Targets this if possible. Could be an easy way to trigger Showdown if you want. Not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. Great with Hand of a Doll. There's a couple other good hits on this. You could use it as a way to tutor Rebuke or something. I don't know. I could see the seeing play. It's cheap enough. The stats aren't great, but also there are a lot of spells that buff the stats that this could directly tutor. So I don't hate this at all. Story of Galvadon. Give a minion 3 random bonus effects. Interesting. Great arena card. I don't know if it's good enough for Wild. I'm going to say no. Battle. Okay, Hot Spring Glider. Your next Murloc costs 2 less Kindred and gains Divine Shield. 3's a little steep for a Paladin Murloc, but mana cheating something into costing 2 less and then giving it Divine Shield might make it worth. I think we at least experiment with this in Murloc Paladin. Ready the Fleet. Give +1/+2 to a friendly minion and the other minions that share the same type. This surprised the crap out of me. The first time I saw it was in the Theory Crafting, and I was like, whoa, that's a cool spell. Is this better than Crusader's Aura? Probably not, but I think it's interesting enough that I think we sniff it. This is like you know, everything is possible, or whatever they call it. Anything can happen. It's one of those big buff boards. I don't hate this. And what's nice is, like, if you wanted to, you could also do it in something like Mech Paladin, or you could do it in basically any tribal aggro. So kind of cool. Submerged map. Discover a Murloc. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. Murlocs tend to be a little cheap, but like discovering a Murloc in Wild is a dicey proposition. So I do not think we'll be playing Submerged map. Reach Equilibrium. Quest, cast 5 holy spells. Reward, Life's Breath. Quest, cast 5 shadow spells. Reward, Death's Touch. And we get the options over here. So Life's Breath, summon a copy. It's a taunt. It's a 4/4. Death's Touch. It's Reborn. It has Death Rattle to deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. It's a 5 mana 4/4. Together combined, they're a 5 mana 8/8 with both effects. In Wild, we can keep bringing this back with different resurrection effects. Sounds like side grade and or pretty much the same. It sounds like Messy Priest. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like Messy Priest, Messmaker Priest, where you're bringing back Messmaker over and over and over again. So I guess there's already a shell for it, but like, is this good enough to dedicate a whole deck around it? With Xyrella Hero as the payoff, as like, all right, you dealt a bunch of 5 damage to random enemies. Well, it's, you know, your board's cleared now. We're playing Xyrella, and all the 5 damages are going face. I don't really see it, I'll be honest. All right. Archeos? Or Archeos? Archeos? Whenever a friendly minion attacks, at its health equal to this minion's health. I heard people saying immediately that this goes in something like Shadow Aggro Priest. I'm not fully convinced. I know it has a funny combo that you could use later. Can we just talk about the difference between this art and the signature art? That guy I'd hang out with. The other guy, this guy, I don't know if I'm hanging out with him. Glade Song Siren Lifesteal costs 1. If you play a Holy and a Shadow spell this turn. I am seeing people talk about this being a possible Bless Priest card. Very interesting to me. I didn't think it was very good until somebody said Bless Priest. And then I'm thinking you build the Bless Priest in such a way that you could play this very early, maybe as early as turn 3. Possibly turn 2 on the coin if the stars align correctly. And now you have something that's got 7 health that you can then buff, but also it's got lifesteal. Yeah, I like this as a possible option in Blessed Priest. It's intriguing to me. This could see some play. Resuscitate looks nuts. It looks the fact that it's resurrecting things, but then giving them reborn, and you are building your deck around this so that you know what you're bringing back with reborn. I think this could definitely be a nasty card in Wild. This might even see some play in something like an aggro priest, just for like board refill. Wouldn't shock me. Wilted Shadow plays nice with our bird. Lifesteal, whenever you heal an enemy, this attacks it. You play something like Circle of Healing, or you play something like our 1 mana deal 3 damage. Our 1 mana, 3 health all across the board. Worth noting that the opponent and or the minions, I think, have to be damaged in order to be healed. I don't think it'll count as healing unless they're damaged, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Wilted Shadow plays nice with our bird because the bird basically keeps like resetting its health again over and over and over again. So we'll see if that's relevant. It sounds like it'll be relevant kind of in standard. I don't know if it's going to be relevant in wild. Summon a random 4-cost minion and give it taunt. Kindred, do it again. I mean, 4 mana for 2 4/4 taunts. I think you sniff it. I think you sniff it, especially in something like Raza Priest. That can be a lot of stats. Just by itself, 4 mana for a 4/4 with taunt. Possibly some benefits, possibly some downsides. I don't know if that makes it, but the Kindred, yeah, the Kindred's probably good enough. Glady College, just get a 1-cost holy spell that gives a minion +2 or -2 health. Yeah, and then it's this it's like little purifying vines, a little blessing. Choose a minion if it's friendly, +2 health. If it's an enemy, -2 health. Cheap removal. It's a 1-drop. It's fine. It's fine. Will it see play in wild? I could see it in being fringe in like a 40 list someplace. Sure. Story of Amara. Are we going to be back to Spiteful Summoning? Spiteful Summoner. Story of Amara. If I'm invoking Spiteful Summoner, by the way, it tells you how viable the card is. Grave Dawn Sunbloom. Draw 2 cards. Kindred. They cost 2 less, and it's holy. Very intriguing. We can make this 2 mana, draw 2, and we can play holy spells that cost 0. And we have stuff like, what's a 3 mana spell that has a permanent? Your first spell that you do. Starlight Groove? No, like it's not Starlight Groove, but you get the idea. We've got that aura that we can make our first spell cost 0, and so we make a holy spell cost 0, cast it, and then we play this for 2. I don't know. Yeah, keep an eye on this. This could be pretty good. Twilight Mender. Get a random holy and shadow spell. Great arena card. Not great for constructed. All right, there goes Priest. Now we are on to the rogue cards. Lie in wait. Shuffle 5 cards into your deck. Reward Master Dusk. This looks fun. This does not look good. Summon 2 3/3 ninjas with stealth. Your ninjas now go back into your deck when they die. Draw 2 cards that didn't start in your deck. You might play this. You might play the quest just for the effect, but it seems like Rogue just draws its cards. You don't need to tutor out shit that doesn't start in your deck. Worth noting that this does work with stuff like Garrote and things. So, like, it's not a problem completing the quest quickly. It's whether or not the payoff's going to be worth. A little skeptical there. Opu the Unseen. Battlecry combo and Death Rattle cast. Fan of Knives. I'm not seeing it, guys. I'm not seeing it. Underbrush Tracker. Rush costs 1 less for each time you've shuffled a card into your deck. 0 mana 5/5s with Rush. If we do Garrote into Garrote, we got 1/1 5/5s. Oh, 1 mana 5/5. Interesting. Wouldn't shock me if this is playable. I think it's probably a couple mana too expensive, but it's not completely inconceivable to make this cost 0. Knockback. Deal 1 damage to a minion. Improve for each time you've shuffled cards into your deck. No spell type, which I think is a disadvantage. It only goes to minions. Cheap removal. I'm not a rogue enough expert to know whether or not this is good enough, but I think we have other options that are better. Ambush Predator. Summon 1/1 Spitter with Stealth and Poisonous. Kindred, do it again. Absolute garbage. Cultist Map might bring back Miracle Rogue to a more tier 1-ish stance. People are saying this is like better Swindle, and you play it in the same decks that play Swindle. I think that's fair. Discover a card from your deck. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. Yeah, okay. I think this could be one of the cards that sees a lot of play for a long time in Wild, especially in something like Miracle Rogue. Eyes in the Skies. Look at 3 cards in your enemy's deck. Put one of them on top. Holy Wrath tech that we didn't ask for and isn't going to be good. Never set Weaponsmith. Get a random weapon from another class. Combo, give it 2 attack. Absolute garbage. Probably fine in Arena. Interrogation. Shuffle 3 ninjas with stealth into your deck that are summoned when drawn. Quest completion, but like, I don't know. We have some minions that benefit from being stealth. We have Cold Blood. Like, we have ways where we can kind of like leverage stealth in Wild. But I don't know if it's really worth it. I don't know. This is good for the quest at least. Merchant of Legend. Battlecry. Discover a legendary minion. Shuffle the other 2 into your deck. Busted arena card. Some of the best arena cards that are around right now sort of just discover a legendary minion. Discover a useful legendary minion. The other 2 just sort of being value that gets shuffled into your deck. Not the worst in arena. Bad and constructed. Spirit of the Mountain. Quest. Play 7 minions of unique types. Reward, Ashelon. So you get Ashelon, and Ashelon adapts twice for the rest of the game. Your minion, the rest of the game, give minions you play those adaptations. So you can throw down a gross amount of adaptations on Ashelon, and then everything you play after that gets them. It feels greedy. It feels greedy and slow for Wild. I'm not seeing it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny when you nail it. I'm not saying I won't lose to it. I'll totally lose to it, but I don't think it's very good. Bramble Seer Stone. Your elementals deal 1 extra damage. It's not an elemental in and of itself, which I think is going to hold it back a little bit. Elemental Shaman already can't really put up with too many passengers, and having something that costs 3 mana that's understated, even if the effect is a Void Touch Attendant, isn't quite worth. Slagclaw, Battlecry, summon 2/1 Sizzlers. Kindred, trigger your Sizzlers' Death Rattles. It's understated, but we can mana cheat it a little bit. The Sizzlers deal 2 damage randomly spent among all enemy minions. So it's a little pew pew pew. It's 5 mana for 7/6 stats. And we could make it cost 4 or 3 or even less mana. No rush, no taunt. I'm going to say it's not good enough. Yeah, I'm going to say it's not good enough. Lava Flow. Deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy minion 3 times. Overload 1. Seems like a decent clear, honestly. It is fire and not nature, which is a downside. I wouldn't be shocked if a Reno Pile played this as removal. I think we have better removals, but the fact that it's going this can stack on the same 6 health enemy if there's only 1 enemy, I think is interesting. It can also go face, which I think is interesting, especially if we add some spell damage into it. Yeah, I kind of like this card. Sizzling Swarm, deal 3 damage, summon that many Sizzling Cinders. Yeah, too expensive, but I think the Cinders are kind of okay, but like it's too much damage. It's a little too slow. Battlecry, draw a fire spell. Kindred, give it +2 spell damage. So let's say we give this +2 spell damage. That's deal 5 for 6 mana. I feel like this card is balanced around this card, and that's yikes. This card, on the other hand, if it gets high rolled and hit by this card, and now we're talking about dealing 4 damage to the lowest health enemy minions enemies 3 times, you're banking the spell damage. That's intriguing to me. Mountain Map. Discover a minion with a type you haven't played. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. I think you could build around this. This is actually one of the more interesting maps I've seen. You haven't seen Murlocs yet in a game. Like, you haven't played any Murlocs yet. Go get a helpful Murloc. Could be okay. Could be okay. Wouldn't shock me if this was good. Mechanized Magma, whenever you play a fire spell, gain its stats equal to this cost. I don't think there's any way to go infinite with this. I think this is like just an arena card. It's probably a decent arena card. 5 health, it sticks around for a long time. Elemental and Mech, we can reduce it by a fair amount in Wild. But it's hard to leverage it in something like Shaman. Draw 2 minions of different types, give them +2/+2. This is just a great tutor, right? This is just a great tutor. You probably play this over some other draw things depending on the deck that you play in Shaman. Good card. Cinderfin. Death Rattle, summon a 2/1 Sizzling Cinder. And Murloc and Elemental. And I guess it's one of the... It might be better than an option in Murloc, but I'm not excited about it. All right. On to Warlock. Quest. Play 6 temporary cards. I have to play them. I can't let them discard. If it was just discarding or if it was producing them, that would be fine. But we have to play the temporary cards. The payoff isn't that bad. I think, like, and it's really cool. You, like, once per turn, you feed a card into the Rift. That doesn't cost any mana, by the way. You're just burning the card. And you get 2 of these fuckers. And this guy, I hated Felraptor. He kept hitting the shit out of me. And we've got rushes with lifesteals, and we've got taunts with Reborn. Like, this is a good payoff, but the quest is questionable at best. I think people will force it, but like I don't know if it's really worth. The payoff is cool. It does cost mana, but the payoff is cool. All right. People are saying, this is a discard Warlock card. This is a discard Warlock card. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But I guess it does have upside depending on whatever deck you're playing, right? Like if you're discarding a random card from your hand or your opponent's hand, great, but it's random. It's not targeted. And so much of the deck in Disco now is targeted, and we don't necessarily always want our Soul Barrage getting discarded too early because we want to make copies of it so that we have more burn. I do think that Discard Warlock is going to be Tier 1 when the expansion drops. I don't think this card is going to be the reason why it is, though. Whispering Stone. Taunt. Get 2 random Fel spells. On Death Rattle, they cost health instead of mana. This looks bad. Cool. Cursed Catacombs, busted card, broken card, S tier card. You can slot this into discard Warlock, and you can have turn 0, 3 forwards, and 2 5 taunts, and also we can use a minion to make more copies of Cursed Catacombs. You know, you could just have an insane stat dump, basically. And it's always finding a minion. Now, the minion's temporary, but all the same, like, that doesn't really matter because with discard stuff, if it gets discarded, great, you get to play it for free. This is going to be the straw that stirs the drink. It's going to be the most expensive part about Discard Warlock. Everybody's going to spam it. We're all going to get it banned. Hooray. Story of Lakari. At the end of your turn, discard a card and fill your board with 3/2 imps. Last 3 turns. It's better than the original. It's better than the original quest reward. Even with the discard a card, I could give a shit about the discard a card. It's better than the original. It's not very good. Death Rot Maw. Death Rattle. Summon a random Fel Beast. Crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. No minion type. Hard to cheat out. I'm going to say no. Probably good arena card. No for constructed. Blood Petal Biome. Discover a temporary 1-cost minion. Maybe if you're doing the temporary quest, I don't think it's very good. Destroy an enemy minion. Kindred. Deal 2 damage to all minions. Caustic Fumes. 4 mana is way too expensive for that in our format. Tunnel Terror. Death Rattle. Get 2 temporary 2-cost minions. This is like a fine, like, arena upside type card. Not good for constructed. Spelunker, Battlecry. Your next temporary card costs 2 less. Fine. Okay. Fine. Like, maybe we play this as like a 2 of, like, maybe we play this as a 1 of Arena Lock. I'd play this over Gnome Feratu if I had ways of making more temporary cards in my deck. It's fine, I guess. All right, enter the Lost City, chat. We're entering the Lost City. We have to survive 10 turns. Our reward is the Gaze of Laborious. So that is a 5-mana 8/8, and no, even though it's a big fucking wall, it doesn't have taunt. Okay, get 2 random Journey to Angoro quest rewards. Shuffle the rest into your deck. If you happen to play Time Warp and Galvadon in the same turn, good for you. Otherwise, I don't know, Chad. I don't think this is really worth. I don't think it's really worth. Okay. Is it gonna, well, what about Arena Warrior? No, I don't think it's worth Arena Warrior. No, you're shuffling bad cards into your deck. I don't think so. It might see play, though. It's going to see play. Greed Lords are going to play it. I just don't think it's going to be very good. Sorry. Battlecry. Summon copies of your damage minions. Give them Rush. We have a spell that does much the same thing as this for cheaper. So I don't think this is an effect we want. But it is a body stapled to it. I don't think it sees any play. City Defenses. I was impressed by this card, actually. Summon 2, 0/6 security with taunt. They gain +1 attack when damaged. It's a persistent effect. So, like, if you're running little 1/1 shitters into this thing, this attack just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. In a skipper deck, or in some sort of deck that runs Aftershocks, you can actually turn these into offensive weapons just by damaging them with instances of damage. Don't be shocked if this is actually kind of a decent, wild playable card. I think it's fine in like Arena, and I think if you put it in a deck that can actually leverage it, and it won't stick out like a sore thumb, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. This I would have said this card is garbage and moved on if I hadn't played it myself. I was actually kind of impressed by it. Stonecarver. At the end of your turn, give a random friendly damage minion +2/+2. It can hit its own self. So it can scale on top of itself. It's a little bit slow, but it can scale itself. I think it's kind of fine. Story of Sulphurous. Swap your hero power to deal 8 damage to a random enemy. After 2 uses, swap back. Nope. Shellnado. Spend up to 5 armor for each spent. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Worse Aftershocks that also deletes your armor. When we have like Shield Shatter, and we have Sanitize, and we have Aftershocks, and we have like other better clears. No thank you, Shellnado. Levatorian Armorer. Deal 2 damage to an enemy minion. If it dies, gain 5 armor. Like, decent value if Odd Warrior still exists, but Odd Warrior can't win a game even against aggro, so... Windpeak Worm. Battlecry. Deal 5 damage and gain 5 armor. Kindred, it costs 3 less. So we've curved this with Lava Gorger in, like, Even Warrior. Is that good enough? It's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. I don't really fully hate it. Even if you like Lava Gorger and dredge this, your Lava Gorger's gaining 8 armor, and then the next turn you're playing a 5-mana 6/6 that deals 5 damage and gains 5 armor. It's not the worst. People will play it and it won't totally suck, in my opinion, in something like Even Warrior. But Even Warrior can hit Legend, but Even Warrior has trouble winning games sometimes. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Bring back. You know what we should do, chat? Let's bring back Kazakhstan and Even Warrior. Let's do that. That should be fun. I would play that deck. I would play the shit out of that deck. Axe of the Forefathers. After your hero attacks, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Could definitely see play. It's like just like you're storing up your skipper charges, right? I wouldn't play it in Skipper Warrior specifically, because I don't think it really belongs there. But in an Enrage Warrior, maybe. Fortify. Gain 3 armor. Deal damage equal to your armor to an enemy minion. No, too slow. All right, we're on to neutrals now. Krog. Krog was funny. Krog's kind of expensive. Krog was funny, though. Good for Krog. I don't know. I'm going to lose to this in fucking Wild at some point. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm never going to see the times where I kill my opponent, and this was in their hand as a dead card. Endbringer Umbra. I think that long-term this becomes a problematic card for Wild. in some way. I know death rattles are slow, but the fact that it's a battle cry that repeats them, that remembers them, just keep an eye on this card. I think it's going to be like, it hasn't seen a ton of play in Wild. It's been a little bit better in Standard. I'll just keep half an eye on it. That's all I'm going to say about that. City Chief Esho. Every minion in your deck shares a minion type. Give your other minions +2/+2. Way too slow at 6 mana. At least the Navigator. Holy shit. Okay. Hey. Battle Cry. If your deck started with 10 cards at different costs, craft a custom location. So you can get... All right, we're going to get in here. We're going to really get in here, chat. We can do a 1, a 5, or a 10. We're doing either deal 3 as the 1, deal 5 as the 5, or deal 10. 3, 5, 10 as the death rattle. Okay. 3 charges. So you're going to go 3 charges to wait for this. And it's all enemies. It does go face. Keep that in mind. Okay. Gain 3 armor, gain 6 armor, gain 12 armor. 3 armor for 1. Probably not bad. Yeah, probably not bad. Okay. Summon a 2/1 Raptor with Rush. 3 2/1 Raptors with Rush. 6 2/1 Raptors with Rush. The 10 drops does not seem very compelling, but the 5 with the 3 seems kind of compelling. And the, I guess a tempo swing. And the 1 mana to make a 2/1 with Rush, I don't totally hate it. Summon a 1/1 copy of a friendly minion. Summon a 5/5 copy of a friendly minion. Summon a 10/10 copy of a friendly minion. This is busted. Is this not? Is this not busted? Just like, yeah, it was just high roll, just making a copy of a minion. Holy shit. And you can do it 3 times. That seems slightly problematic. I don't know, that'd be pretty good. Discover a spell, it costs 1 less. Discover a spell, it costs 4 less. Discover a spell, it costs 7 less. Yeah. All right. I mean, I think sometimes the spells that you're discovering are not going to be super expensive, right? Good value. What's this? Your next spell has +1 spell damage, +2, +4. That's a little silly. Give your characters +1 attack this turn, +2 attack, +4 attack. Yeah, I saw this one too and thought it was pretty good. Yeah, at least we'll see play. In Reno Piles. I don't know if all those options are good for Reno Piles, but she'll see some play, and the location seems strong enough that they'll be okay. Torga, draw a Kindred card and another card that activates it. Feels slow. Feels slow for Wild. I know it's an undead beast, and I know it then, like, you're basically tutoring something. So I think in some decks where, like, the Kindred cards that you're tutoring are a part of a combo, I could see that working. I don't know if I would do that otherwise. I don't know if I could swallow this otherwise. Ravenous Devil Sword, destroy a minion Kindred, gain its stats, and it's a 7 mana 3/3. Looks like arena removal, bad for constructed. Storm Brewer, whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to the target first. Kindred gains Rush. I think this is an elemental that you're happy to discover, but you don't really want to hard run in your deck. Crystal Tender with tradable. Battle Cry. Gain empty mana crystals until both players have the same mana. Oh, mean when opponent Druid. This is going to be goofy tech that people are going to run, and people are absolutely going to play it. Is it good enough to hard run in your deck with the normal amount of sanity? No, I don't think so. Tortolan Storyteller. At the end of your turn, give a +1/+1 to each friendly minion of a different type. Cute Warrior? Cute Lock card? Nah, seems too slow. It's end of turn. Ancient Raptor. Battlecry, choose to gain +3 attack, Divine Shield, or Death Rattle. Summon 2 1/1 plants. Seems kind of okay. You can make a threat with it, or you can make something sticky with it, or you could just make like a sticky threat. I think you're always picking Divine Shield. It's whether or not you want to summon 2 1/1 plants, or whether or not you want to just make something that goes face for a lot of damage. This seems fine. This could see some play in Wild. Ancient, Paradox, Battle Cry. Choose to gain stealth until your next turn. Elusive or Wind Fury. Bad. Get a copy of an elemental or a dragon in your hand. Of another elemental or dragon in your hand. So, okay. So we could use this in a combo, maybe. Maybe for combo enabling. I won't say no. Dissolving Ooze. Destroy a friendly minion. Spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. Maybe some kind of shitty mark combo. No, thank you. Primal Challenger, Battle Cry. Your next Kindred triggers twice. If there's a Kindred combo, maybe. Stranglevine. Death Rattle. Summon a random friendly minion and add friendly. Oh my god. Give a random friendly minion a random bonus effect. And this Death Rattle. No. Ultra Gigasaur. I don't think we run it on purpose, but we're cackling when we make it appear magically. Whirling Storm Drake, Rush, Wind Fury, Kindred, gain immune this turn. That's a lot of keywords. That's a lot of keywords, man. That's a lot of keywords. I think it's just an arena card, though. We can do silly shit with this. Like we could play this in, let's say, Astral Communion Druid, but I don't know what you're cutting to make room for it. Like it's just kind of like lots of keywords. Dot has Wind Fury. Tar Tyrant. Taunt. Lifesteal has +6 attack during your opponent's turn. Mega Arena Wall. Holy shit. This is a nightmare. I don't think we ever play this on purpose. Scalehide Kodo. Destroy the lowest attack enemy minion. Kindred, the highest attack instead. No, we never play this. Blob of Tar, I've been impressed by how annoying it is. I like it. It's a little pile of stats. There's not a lot of decks that want to play it. I think it's like a nice one of in like a Reno pile where like you want something that's a little anti-aggro. This is definitely a little anti-aggro. I like it in some Death Knight decks where you want to have, you're paying 4 mana for essentially 3 corpses. I think that's okay. Crater Gator, Battle Cry until the start of your next turn. The enemy hero can't be healed. This is a worse version of a Death Knight card. No, thank you. Primal Sabertooth Stealth. This attacks and kills a minion. Get a copy of it. Interesting. Interesting arena card. Not good for constructed. Steamfin Thief. Kindred summon 2 1/1 Murlocs with Rush. Meh. 4 mana is too steep, I think. Willful Watcher. Taunt. Death Rattle. Destroy the top 3 cards of your deck. What if you don't give a shit? Silence Priest, anyone? I think at 4 mana it's still too expensive. But like this is the... I would not feel... Like the Death Rattle does not necessarily deter me that much. Ancient Stegodon. Battle Cry. Choose to gain Taunt, Poisonous, or +1/+1. Interesting. So we either get a 3 mana 2/6, a 3/1 poisonous minion, a 3/1 poisonous, or sorry, a 3/5 poisonous, or a 1/5 taunt. That's a lot of value, and it's a beast. It might see play. I don't know where you play it, but I don't know. This seems like good enough that like somebody would drop it on 3, and I'm annoyed playing certain decks, and it houses me. Marshland Thresher. After you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield. Yeah, okay. It's not like it's got Rush or attacks multiple times. I think it's bad. Petrified or Ogre. Starts dormant. While dormant, gain +2/+2 at the start of your turn. 50% chance to awaken instead. This is never going to wake up. Paradax Egg. Death Rattle. Summon 3/3 Paradax that steals 1 health from all other minions. That's kind of gross. If we can pop this on purpose, and just have like a devour effect, Schlorp. I don't know how easily we're really doing that, though. So I don't think it really sees play. Relic Miner. Destroy the top card of your deck. Discover a card of the same rarity. Nice arena card. Undercover Cultist. Taunt. Reborn has 3 attack when damaged. Arena card. Curious Explorer. Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of a minion in your opponent's hand by 2. Fuck no. Rock Skipper. Get a 1-cost rock that deals 3 damage. This might see play in XL Shadow Priest. Just for the extra burn, just for more fuel for the oracles that we're still trying to find ways to proc. So I think this is probably going to be fine. Questing Assistant. If you played a quest this game, deal 2 damage. This will see play. Some people will run this in a quest deck, unironically. I don't think it's like crazy good, but like they'll play it just as like upside to running a quest. Platasaur. Draw a card, Death Rattle, discard it. You're seeing one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse as to why Disco is going to be a Tier 1 deck next expansion, chat, right here. And Sizzling Cinder, deal 2 damage, randomly split amongst all all enemies. Yeah, fine, whatever. Overall feel for the set. I feel like it's at least more interesting than the last set that we got. I was a little bit disappointed with the level of depth and like, you know, you can't tell that some of the bad cards were bad in this set, I think. But in the last set, you could tell they were bad straight off the bat, straight off jump, and you could tell that the power level was, you know, the bar for the power level was in hell in Standard for the set that came out last. So I think the set's going to be okay. And that was me being snarky and going through with a wild lens on what I think is going to happen next set with every single one of these cards. Some of them I was watching for the first time. And if you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing on my YouTube channel.